Hey y'all, make sure you like the video. Give me some other hearts to let me know you're voicing. Hey y'all, hey y'all, what is going on? Y'all. We gotta get into some things. Okay? What's going on, Sunshine, DJ, Damo, Ray, Race, Sunshine, Bianca? Hey y'all. Look, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Last night I should not have. Well, first of all, Kojo. Let me talk about Kojo real quick, because Kojo got to give us a timestamp ahead of time. Because when I tell you almost 4 hours is insane, baby, it is insane. Okay, I was like watching, and I was like, I gotta come back. I gotta come back. I gotta go. I gotta come back because it's a lot. It's a lot. Now I want to put a disclaimer out there because I heard that y'all felt the type of way about the way Kojo did some of the interviewing towards the end of it. And baby, we not here to discuss that. Okay, how he run his interview is how he run his interview, and if it works for him, it works for him. Okay, he already discussed what he wanted to discuss. So I don't want y'all to bring that energy to this chat because I don't want it to be like Kojo did this, Kojo did that, Kojo did this. Okay, we don't want that. We want to look at the interview for what the interview is, and we're going to talk about some of the things that was discussed. We're not about to watch the whole thing. I do have I think more so toward well, it was really like 3 hours. I think so more towards the last hour or so. We're gonna like start watching and get into some things. But I just wanted to say, hey y'all, what is going on? I'm waiting for y'all to get in here before I start. I couldn't watch all of it. I was in a live rolling my eyes. Okay, let me tell you. So I want to say this. Alexis pretty much proved to me that she is who we saw her to be, both good and bad, and different. So I want to start with one of the points that she made before I get into everything. So she was talking about how she found her relationship back with God when she was dealing with her immune disorder, her dis immune auto disease. Is that what it's called? And so she ended up, getting her relationship back with God because he was the only one that's going to help her through it, things like that. Okay. So in the process of that, she talked about her good side and her bad side, like her light and her dark, and how we all have light and we all have dark, and how she lives in both of them. Okay. And I feel like that's an issue. And I want to express why I feel like that's an issue. Because when you work out of your dark energy, you're going to receive dark energy back. Right. And I think that is very, 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 very dangerous as a person in their 30s to operate out of their darkness and be fine with that. I think when you start to get older, you have to realize I can't operate in my darkness. I have to become better. I have to learn control. We as women, and I'm putting myself in a pool, are very emotional. We're emotional. And so it's easy for us to bring out our dark energy because we run off emotions. And if we feel it, baby, we about to express it all. But one thing that I'm learning now and that I'm working on is learning to control my emotions and to not bring out the dark sides. We all have them, but how do you control yourself? If we allowed our intrusive thoughts to get the best of us in all scenarios, baby, the world will be effed up worse than what it is. Okay. She definitely, I will say, I don't feel like she took accountability for the person before her actions, in a sense of she doesn't real how do I put this? She doesn't think that she was wrong to take accountability. That's dangerous, right? It's one thing to be like, I was wrong. I was wrong. I take accountability for being wrong and I won't do it again. You know what I mean? Then it's another thing to say, I did what I did and I'm standing on it. I can't go back and change it. It's done. It is what it is. That's not taking accountability. That's just saying, okay, well, yeah, I did it. What do you want me to do? So in this instance, it's like for me watching her, she set us up to already acknowledge I work out of my dark energy and my good energy, which I think is bad because we have to learn how to control our emotions and energy, right? And you can't walk with God and be complacent and working out of your dark energy. That's the whole purpose of faith. That's the whole purpose of walking with God to become more like Him. And you can't become more like Him if you are, quote unquote, working out of your darkness. You know what I mean? So it just felt very strange to me. But I saw how she set it up. Alexis set this up for us to already understand that she was not retracting anything that she did, okay? And that she stood on business. And I'm going to stand on business. And what I did is what I did. And what I said is what I said. And that's just that, okay? And if that's how she chooses to live her life, then perfectly fine with me. But do not be mad when people judge you off the way you choose your life. Don't be mad when people judge you off the way you choose to live your life once we can see it. And then you talk about how you're on your walk with God. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Make it make sense. And so, V, when you say people were giving her a pass, let me tell you where the pass come from. And I don't want to take it there, but I gotta take it there. I struggle with whether I wanted to take it there or not. It's pretty privilege. The pretty privilege that she talked about she had, it comes with it. People can't sometimes see how a person really is when they're pretty. It's kind of like Karen when Karen starts crying and it's like, oh my God, everybody felt bad for me when you pull out those white woman tears. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And now everybody's like, oh, save her, save her, save her. That's what it's giving. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I didn't want to go there, but I have to be honest, okay? And I think that sometimes because if people were to it's part of her journey, and it is a thing. Pretty privilege, colorism, all that type of stuff plays into how people perceive you before they even know you. You get what I'm saying? It plays into how people perceive you before they know you, before you start talking, before anything. People look at you and then they say, okay, okay, now what? So that part of, I would say, her background is something that I really wanted to point out because it really made me feel a little bit uneasy. When you sit there and you're talking about working out of you're just working out of your darkness. I think that that's something to be very, very aware of. We have to become more aware of who we are as human beings and how we want to show up in the world and how we want to present ourselves. And we cannot sit there and we can't expect for people to just accept it because that's how we operate. If that's how you operate, perfectly fine, but people do not have to accept that. Okay. You say you came at the wrong time. She ran the word pretty into the ground. It's a thing. It's totally a thing. Okay. Colorism, pretty privilege, all these things play a role in how people perceive you and what people tolerate when it comes to how they look at you. It's just like the same thing over there. And I'm just going to just touch on it slightly with the Potomac girls and the housewives. It's like, as soon as, no, I'm not, I'm gonna bring it, I'm gonna leave that alone. But if you think about Basketball Wives and you think about Evelyn Lozada and you think about OG, remember the season? OG did absolutely nothing. And they called her aggressive and they told her she was masculine. They made her sit behind stage, sit behind the she wasn't allowed on the stage for the reunion. She was on the camera. But then you have Malaysia, right? Who was literally like swinging at one point, but Malaysia's pretty. So I'm not saying OG's ugly. I'm talking about in the sense of how America views people. Malaysia, because she was a prettier woman, it wasn't taken to that extent. Then when you have Evelyn Lozada literally jumping on tables, jumping over people, patting the pat, doing all of that. I mean, the most aggressive of them all, but no one perceives her like that. Okay. It's the spicy Latina. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful. Like, people will perceive once they get in their mind of what they see you as, that's it. Right. Meanwhile, Evelyn jumping over tables, and this is how the world, unfortunately, is set up, which is why we as Black women get called angry. We're angry. We're aggressive. And then you have the Latinos who are spicy. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Okay. But I don't want to harp on it. I just wanted to point that out. Okay. We're gonna get into the story. We're going to get into her when she first started talking about what happened between her and the ladies, okay? About the whole dinner situation and how they went out. So I'm going to play it, and we're going to walk through it a little bit because I need y'all to hear. I love me some Evelyn. See, Evelyn, I can't do Evelyn. I can't. There's a lot of people I can do, but she is one of the ones I cannot. I just cannot. Yeah, I can't do Evelyn. And the crazy thing is, I used to love Evelyn too, but I think that season with OG, it kind of just made me feel away, and I could just never looked at it the same. Never, because it's mean girl energy to the 10th power. And we all got a little mean girl in us, you know what I mean? But it's like mean girl to the 10th power. Happy birthday. Hey Chloe, it was my birthday again. Oh, Mia, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. And shout out to T. T's birthday just passed too. Happy birthday. Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I did a timestamp. Hold on. What time? Okay, 1:49:08. You love the Bad Girls Club. I love Bad Girls Club. Okay, so let's go ahead and what's this 149? Hold on, where am I at? How do I even child? Hold on, y'all. Oh, this the wrong video. I was watching the wrong video, y'all. Is this it? Okay.
Started this group chat, right? So we're in this group chat. We have our kikis and our ha-has here and there. And I'm just like, over the last few days, I'm just feeling like, this is super negative. Like, I don't want to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and turn over and look at my phone and there's 10 messages about some goofy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, it's just not, I'm not that invested. I'm just really not, right? So I'm like, what are you talking about? Right? Was another connection. And Dom,
Okay, so I want to start here. Can you guys hear what she was talking? If you can hear, just let me know, because I know last time we had some issues with hearing. Okay, but I want to say this first. I want you guys to keep in mind that Alexis said that she wasn't attracted to any of the men there. She also stated that they just wasn't her type. Okay, so I want you guys to keep in mind with, I'm not really interested in none of the men here, and these men aren't really my type. Okay.
his time on the show, he kind of, between one of the three, is recording me. Do something different for a change and see if this is something that not that, again, no, not ugly, just, you know, not what I usually go for. So I was really putting my best foot forward, like, let me try to make some connections. And then when I realized, like, this is a lot of smoke and mirrors, like, you kind of mentally check out.
All right, I hear that. So obviously, you had some interesting moments on the show. One of them
Mm-hmm.
being the beef with the ladies, some of the ladies, Kashia,
Mm-hmm.
Mika. I know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to return back to the gentleman in a second. The beef between yourself, Kashia, Mika. I want to know from your perspective. Take us from journey A to point B. What
Mm.
happened as to why that got to a point where it's got so heated,
Yeah.
and words are exchanged.
Yeah. So from we'll start from the very, very beginning, right? Um um Mika inserted herself into this whole code thing. But it wasn't until later that I found out that she was one of the main underlying factors in it, right? So the very first ladies lounge that you guys see, the two ladies first two ladies lounges that you guys see were filmed on the same day. Okay. Let's put that out there. Filmed on the same day, back to back, right? So we are in one outfit, boom, they're gonna bring out Justin to meet everybody. That lasts for a few minutes, and then all right, boom, we're gonna shoot what we're gonna call the first ladies lounge, right? So you change clothes, you go back, you come back out. So prior to this ladies lounge, this was the night that the whole thing, what I consider the starting point was the day of the brunch where everybody meets everybody, where everybody's introduced, right? So the brunch day. um so after we were shooting that day, the ladies from the first mixer, we're all in a group chat at this point, right? So one of the ladies started the group chat, put all the ladies in it, and we're all in a group chat. So they hit the group chat and they're like, hey, when this wraps, let's all go out for dinner. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? No big deal, you know? So we all go to dinner, unbeknownst to me during this dinner. Now, at this dinner, it is April, Mika, and Co. and myself at this dinner.
Okay. So I need you guys to listen because we got two stories. She's gonna tell it and then she's gonna tell it again. Okay. So she said it's April, Mika, and Koshia. Sorry. April, April, Koshia, Mika, and herself. Okay. From the first mixer, they go out to eat.
Off camera, just ladies having a chit chat, a kiki about everything, everybody, right? Um,
Why do we use Navan to manage all our business travel and expenses? Because our company.
Me at this dinner, between one of the three is recording me, right? Is recording this conversation. I'm not told about this, anything. So my first instinct, right, is to say, if I'm going to record you, and we're supposed to be cool at this point, if I'm going to record you, I'm doing it with intentions of potentially catching you saying something that I can use against you later, right? That's just how I view it. So let's fast forward a little bit. We go.
Okay. So let's start there. She said that they were recording her. They invited her out to dinner and they recorded her. Okay. After they started the group chat, they recorded her. And this seems strange to me because now my wheels are turning. Why would girls just pick you out to record? Out of and she said with the intent on trying to catch her in something, right? So it sounds like, did you say something that was sideways, looking had them looking at you sideways? Honestly, I don't feel like there was a recording. I really don't feel like there was a recording, but I do think that she believes in her mind that there was a recording. I do think that whoever told her, whatever they went back to tell her, told her it was a recording to get her to tell the truth. That's what I feel like. I feel like sometimes people set things up to make it seem like, well, I got proof. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out, because if we all just met each other, what would be the whole purpose of us to sit down and record you on the first day, the very first day, not a week later, not 2 weeks later, not nothing, but I'm talking about the very first day. All 5 of us, or how many ever ladies it was, 4 or 5 or whatever, we all go out to eat after this, and 3 of us is in the corner like, you know what, let's just go record Alexis. And I'm sitting here like, that don't make sense to me. Now, like I said, if we think like how people try to set people up, it's kind of like, you know how like you go to someone and you be like, oh, I know. And they like, no. You like, no, I know. I know, I got proof. To try to get them to admit, I feel like that could have been on the lines of what Alexis is talking about. But we're going to let her finish.
Go through the dinner, no problems, whatever, go home. At that ladies' lounge, I'm completely blindsided with this information, right? So at this point, let me back up a little bit, because after this dinner, like the next day or something, I get a phone call from one of the guys, and they're like, "Hey, we starting to hear some things about you, that you're a gold digger, and you gonna be running background checks on people, and you checking in on people, and all of this and then the third." Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not paying no monthly fee to be able to run a background check on nobody. I'm not that invested. I'm just really not, right? So I'm like,
I'm gonna tell y'all why I halfway don't believe that. Because when Alexis first started talking to Kojo, she said with her own mouth, I was not attracted to any of the men there. Was not attracted to any of the men there. They're not my type. So when you think about what would make you want to be with a man if they're not your type, is the coin. It's the coin. Let's stop playing these games, baby. Let's stop it. You all of a sudden went for William. She described her type of man as a tall, light-skinned man, and you went for Willie? Come on. Y'all not about to sit here and play with me tonight. Because I was sitting here listening, and I'm trying to make it make sense, because it sounded like it could have been possible. Look, if we didn't learn nothing from what's her name? What's her name? What's the girl name? Simone. If we didn't learn nothing for Simone, we learned to run a freaking background check, okay? But she connected with Willie, and that's my thing. If you connect with you connected with him, okay? Out of all the men there, and he's not even the closest to your type at all. She said it. She said, I end up connecting with Willie, like William, not tall one, the other one. So it kind of makes me think that she probably did say something along the lines of, oh, he might got some money. I'll give him a shot. I mean, look, come on now. We girls. We talk like that. Wasn't y'all all falling all over the hills for Chaz because he said he was going to pay the bills? Come on.
what are you talking about, right? So then they started to say some of the things that was said at this dinner. So I'm like, this is oddly specific.
Pause. She told on herself. She said that the men started saying some things that she said. And she thought to herself, like, this is oddly specific, which means that whatever they told the men, girl, you said, whatever they said, you said, you just said that you said it. Come on. Y'all didn't catch it? I caught it. I was sitting there like, oh girl. Because she said they started saying some of the things that was said. And and I was sitting here thinking like it's very specific. If I come to you with an issue and I start telling you what you said about me, then that means somebody told you what you said about me. Somebody told me what you said about me. Either you said it or you didn't say it. Now, if I didn't say it, I'm gonna be like, I didn't say that. But for me to come and be like, wow, that's very specific. You really are saying exactly what they said I said. Oh, okay.
That you're asking me about XYZ. Now, still to this day, I haven't heard this recording. I haven't heard anybody say, this is, send it to me or anything like that. But these are the words, this is the phone call I get. You're a gold digger. We finna tell everybody about it, blah, 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 from some of the male cast. They're just kind of just like, hey, this is what we heard about you, and trying to figure out how true it is. What were your intentions, right? So once I realized like where this had to come from, I'm like, you know what? I didn't even send what I could have sent. I sent a screenshot, but the screenshot that I sent was literally Cole saying, you know what, Alexis? I think we should take your advice and stop being so negative. I'm going to actually give this process a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my screenshot was saying, hey, person who's bringing this to me, this is proof that I'm not being negative here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let me hear this recording. I guess everybody's trying to be secretive with this recording, but this is the truth, straight from the horse's mouth, who told you that I was a gold digger, right? This is the truth. I'm literally telling these ladies in this group chat, like, hey, y'all are like super negative. Like, this is disgusting. Y'all are like really talking. Like, I'm not saying all of these things to these ladies, but I'm reading this shit like, this is gross.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all are like ripping these guys to shreds, and these guys haven't done a thing to any of you. Just because you're not attracted to them doesn't mean you have to be impolite. Doesn't mean you have to be rude. You know what I mean? Like, you can not like somebody or be attracted to them or only like them in a platonic way and still not completely shit on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that was just my stance on it. I just realized that this was getting really negative really fast, and I'm just not around those types of people, those types of energies. I don't want anything to do with it. And so instead of continuing to laugh at stuff, I'm just gonna not respond altogether. And so when the information came out that Alexis sent this screenshot, I'm completely blindsided with this information at the ladies' lounge. I wasn't going to bring this up. I wasn't going to bring up that you recorded me off camera without me knowing, to try and get me caught up saying some unfavorable things. I'm not going to bring that to the, like, you know what I mean? I saw you. I see how you are. I see how you move. And I'm just going to move out your way. I'm just going to keep moving. I cleared my name. I defended myself, whatever, have at it. I'm not seeing any of this coming. So Cole brings it up in the ladies' lounge. And then she goes off on this tangent about, she gonna whoop my ass and all this, that, and the third. I find it interesting too. On the very first episode, Cole was from day one ready to jump across the table and snatch my curls out of my head. So who's really?
All right. Now, if I'm reading this right, the girl, it wasn't no recording. There's no recording. Okay. All right. Let me read this right. So you mean to tell me after the ladies' lounges, because didn't she say they shot the ladies' lounges and everything in one take the same day, and then they went out to eat afterwards? Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if you can. My bars dropped, so I need to make sure before I keep talking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So she said that all of this was done in the first day, and after the first day of filming, they went out to eat. Or was this after? When did they go out to eat? After the mixer? But didn't they do all of that in the same day? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, no. So they went from the mixer, then they went out to eat, and then the next day they did the lounges. Is that what happened? Because I'm trying to figure out how she was ready to jump over the table and all this stuff before you, and then y'all go out to eat. Now I want to address this text message thing, okay? Alexis is very smart. Alexis works in her light energy and her dark energy, okay? We are very smart as women, okay? If we talking ish about our man in the group, in a message with our friends, y'all know what we do? We delete it, okay? You want to know why? Because I don't want my man to know that I was talking smack about him just in case he's so happy to pick up my phone, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and delete that message after I send it. You know what I mean? That's just how we move. Alexis is the type of person to be in the group chat being a good girl, which is why I have the proof saying you guys are being mean. You guys are being mean, while on the sideline she's saying, oh, I'm about to just see if this person got some money and this person and this, that, and the other. Because this is not, you cannot convince me that these girls decided to record you for nothing. You cannot convince me that these girls decided to record you for nothing. So there was no recording. I don't know what, like she said, she never even heard the recording. There was no recording. I don't know if that makes her feel better about the situation, but baby, whatever you said, they went back and told the men. And when the men came and told you what was said, you pulled out a text message to show that you was like, you guys are being mean to me. You guys are being too mean to the guys. And this is when you decided that you wanted to take your cape off and start defending these men because you felt as though the women were being mean to these guys for no reason whatsoever. Let me tell you something. We've watched all these episodes, and from the little bit of what we've seen, I feel like a lot of the things would justify for these women not to feel these men. And if that's what we saw, I could only imagine what we didn't see. And that's what I'm starting to see. That's why I'm sitting here like, you want to put on your cape for these men because the women are saying, oh, this person said this to me and this person acted like this towards me. And because you feel as though they didn't treat you that way, now you want to pull out your cape. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why you pulled out the cape. You should have left it alone. The only person you need to be putting the cape on for is for yourself. And baby, you barely did that. You barely did that because you let that man play all up in your face. But we're going to go ahead.
Really violent here. She's had already threatened to rip my curls out of my head on day one because of LaRon. And I didn't even say anything bad about LaRon. She's ready to beat my ass in this so-called whoop my ass in this ladies lounge over this childish nonsense. So who's really violent, right? Anyway, let's move on.
Wait, before we move on, just clarify. Sorry. So someone of the opposite gender showed you that. Wait.
Exactly.
I was hearing it, but it was incredulous, and I just need to just get a deep understanding. So
you want to know? She said that we all were confused. She said that Koshia wanted to, rip her curls out her head over something childish. I want to go back to the ladies' lounge, the first ladies' lounge. Let's think about this for a second. Remember, in the ladies' lounge, Koshia got mad because she told her they know who to play with like that. Okay, basically insinuating that what was it, Alonzo? when he said choke and spank or whatever case may be, that, you know, then that's just what it is. Basically along the lines, like, they can play with you like that. They know to play with you like that. That's not childish. That's not childish. Come on. You can't tell me, oh, you sat there and told that girl that the way that man, you sat there and basically told her that it's her fault for him approaching her however way he did. That's not childish. She had every right to be upset. She had every right to say, I want to whip your behind. She didn't, though. She didn't even jump up to do it. We've seen the ladies in the lounge where it gets a little heated, where the girls is jumping up. She didn't even jump up. She was just really, really upset. Yeah. They didn't do it to her because they know who not to play with. That's triggering, because that's insinuating so many different things to me. So you can't say that that's childish. That's not childish. This is what I mean by she is not comprehending. She's not living in the real world. Her comprehension skills are not on the same. It's not where she thinks it is, because if she did, she would be able to read the room and understand that statement is very, very passive aggressive. It's not even passive aggressive. It's not even. So for when she says that she doesn't understand why the girls don't like her, I could believe she really in her mind don't understand, because she really feels as though how she feels about what happened to Koshia is her fault. This is in her mind, like in her real mind. This is how she processes stuff. So for her, this is her reality. She really don't understand. She's saying, I don't even know why the girls don't like me. What do you mean you don't know why the girls don't like me? After the second day, you told me that it's my fault. You told me that that's because they know who not to play with. Like, girl, stop acting crazy because you're caping for these men you just met 2 days ago. So let's stop with this whole, I don't know why nobody liked me. Girl, bye. We all can tell you why nobody liked you. We watched the season. It was like, yeah, it's time for Alexis to go home. All of us did.
One of the girls is saying that they recorded the conversation.
I don't know who it was. I don't know which of the three recorded it, but
you just know that someone said it.
Right.
Because so obviously someone's brought the information to you.
Right. So what the ladies did was took this recording to some of the guys and said, hey, listen, Lex is a gold digger. The only reason why she's connecting with Will is because she's gonna look into him and see if he's really about what he's talking about. Just trying to find anything, because I can't just be myself and just mind my business. You have to premeditate recording me to try and get me to say something, because what I'm not doing is going back and forth in the text messages about it with you. I'm not giving you what you want from the group text. So now you're going to try and catch me up in the flesh saying it on recording, right?
Bingo. There you go. Like I told y'all, she just told her herself. She's premeditated. Y'all better stop being fooled by pretty faces. Let me tell you something. She already said it. You're trying to catch me slipping in real life because you know I'm not going to go back and forth with you on a text. And as long as you have no proof in that text message that I said what I said, then you can't prove absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, it's always going to be he say, she say if you don't have a text thread. So in this text thread, I'm going to go ahead and say, you guys are being mean to the men. But you're trying to catch me slipping in real life. Why? Because you're talking ish in real life. Let's stop playing games, Alexis. You're telling on yourself. It just takes the right person to read through it. Did y'all not hear what I heard? Because when I tell y'all, I was sitting here like, oh, girl, oh, child, she is playing everybody's faces. And then y'all was like, oh my God, Alexis. Oh my God, Alexis. I said, oh, child, y'all crazy. Alexis stood on business. Yes, she did. On all the lying business, all of it. Alexis is smarter than y'all want to think. Because homegirl said, you're trying to catch me in real life. slipping. Because you know I'm not about to go back and forth with you in them Texas. Okay.
So it's all premeditated. So if you didn't premeditate this, if you didn't have it out for me from day one, why would you record me at dinner that you invited me out to? Let's think about that. What is your other motive other than to try and paint me out or try and catch me saying something? What would be your reason? Do you record all your dinners and conversations that you go out to without people knowing about it? And y'all were supposed to be cool, right? Okay, so at the ladies' lounge, Cole brings it up. She's yelling back and forth. I'm not even gonna go into how I really kind of want to go into it because yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Again,
Okay.
please.
Nickelodeon was kid everything, but that more.
Okay, so hold on, y'all, because I want to say you. Okay, so I know you guys were a little. I know y'all not as confused as I was the first time I watched it because you got me here to break it down for you. Okay, but we were watching it. Okay, and we were confused as heck. We were like, "What? What does this? Huh? Start over, girl. What's happening?" Okay, so because I was here to break it down for the ones who haven't seen it, it kind of made a little bit more sense than it did last night. Okay, but she has to retell the story. So I want you guys to listen to the second part because Kojo was like, we need you to do this over. And we was like, yeah, because I still don't understand why the girls don't like you because everything you stated does not add up. Like the 1 plus the 1 is not equaling to 2 because you just saying that these girls just started being mean to you for no reason. People do not just treat people a certain way for no reason. They may not fool with you. They may not play you too close, but what they're not about to do, especially in an environment where people are like, meeting each other and mingling, they're not about to just single you out, a group of girls, and say, let's go record her. All of us. How about we group up and just go record you? Now, there are people who will be like, you know what? I'm going to keep her at a distance. But to go as far as to go record you, nah. People don't just do stuff like that for no reason. If I got a phone call from my mother right now, I'm not going to think to record it, right? But if I got a phone call from somebody, like, if I got a phone call from something I felt suspicious about something, I'm going to be like, you know what? Let me just go ahead. It's kind of like how Lotto went and recorded her conversation with Nicki Minaj, right? She did that on purpose because she wanted to have something just in case one day she needs to pull it out the thing because she felt some type of way deep down inside about some things, right? People have reasons for doing stuff. You don't just go say, I'm going to record this girl the first day I meet her for fun. I don't understand that. Now, if they did record her, we need to find out why. And that's what I feel like Alexis is not giving her side. She's telling you what she believes happened to her, but she's leaving out what she did. You used to record your ex-mother-in-law because you had a reason to, though. I'm sure you did. You didn't just think about recording her for no reason. Okay? So when you think about how people move, people do things when they're suspicious about something. People do things when they see something or hear you say something or you did something, then people start to handle you in a certain way. I don't think those 3 women decided if they did record you that they were just going to record you because you were pretty. You had to say something. You had to do something. You had to operate in something for them to be like, yeah, we got to keep an eye on her. And I'm not saying by any means what the girls did, if they did, because I don't believe there's a recording. What I'm saying is, if they did record her, because she believes they did, I'm sure they would tell you, I'm sure that if they was to ever admit it, if it ever happened, they had a reason. Whether we would agree with the reason, whether we would think it was right, whether we would think it was childish, whether we would be like, that's crazy, y'all act like little kids, no matter how we feel about why they would have did it, I'm sure they would have had a reason. That's what I'm saying. So for her to sit here and be in the delusional space as there's no reason. There's a reason, Alexis. The same way you set up there and say they know I'm not gonna go back and forth with them in the messages, so they're trying to catch me slipping in real life. It's because they're trying to catch you slipping in real life, meaning you're putting on for these men, but you're saying and doing other things on the side. All right, so she's gonna say it over.
The night of the brunch, or after we wrap shooting the brunch. This is after we've met everybody. So I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna come in and kind of just have, because these are the ladies that I started with, and that this is the group of people that I'm in this, and that I'm in this, I'm sorry, that I started this with. They just started this group chat, right? So we're in this group chat. We have our kikis and our ha-has here and there. And I'm just like, over the last few days, I'm just feeling like, this is super negative. Like, I don't want to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and turn over and look at my phone and there's 10 messages about some goofy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, no, please leave me out of, like, remove me from the chat. You know what I mean? And so it was just getting to the point where I'm just like, I'm really not feeling this chat. I'm just not even responding to a whole lot of stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? So hey Lex, we're all gonna go out to eat. Let's go all out. Let's all go out. Okay, cool. So at this dinner, we're having drinks, we're eating. Nothing seems weird. Nothing seems like strange. You know what I mean? Again, at this point, I'm under the impression that we're cool. You know what I mean? And again, I did not say anything. According to the guys who admittedly said that they heard this recording, they said, Lex, from what I heard, you ain't really, it wasn't nothing that I would have been like upset about. It's nothing that, I feel like would have changed our outlook on you. And again, I haven't heard this recording, but I'm not that person also to just sit up and just shit on people. That's just
Okay. So did they call you and say that you said these things about them, or did they say that it wasn't that bad? Did you get the phone call that said, so you said this about me, da 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 da, and then the other man said, oh, what we heard wasn't that bad? Was it both? Which one was it? Exactly, Jay. So then why be pressed about the recording? If you have nothing incriminating on that recording, and the men told you that they didn't think it was that bad. This is what I mean by you guys have to listen to the story twice, because the first story is already sounding a little bit different from the second story. Because remember, the first story, she said the next day she got a phone call saying that she said that she was a gold digger, and that she was only going to talk to Will because he got money, and she was going to do background checks on the men. Remember, that was the first one that the first story. Now this story is, oh, they said it wasn't even that bad. Let's keep following.
just not who I am. You know what I
But
mean?
in the midst of the banter, did you say something? Because we all listen. I'm sure if people call me, I've said some stuff, so I can't lie to you. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you that I didn't say I'm not feeling him, or kind of weird with XYZ, or he's just not my type physically. I can't tell you that I didn't say anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I know I didn't say is that I'm a gold digger and I'm connecting with Will because he says he has money. That was the whole premise, was them trying to say that I'm a gold digger and I'm not nice, or I'm just a bitch, or whatever catty mean girl things that they said to the guys. So yeah, so the dinner goes, and a few days later, I get this phone call about said recording, and I'm like, that's not true. Like, like what? Like, you gonna record me? You trying to get me? Like, what's up with this? You know what I'm saying? I see you, and I'm just gonna move out your way. because I really don't want to just get into the dynamic with these ladies that I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what's on these people's mind. I see you and I'm moving out your way. And that's how I was approaching the situation. I wasn't going to bring it in front of the cameras. I was going to leave it on the playground because it was child's play to me. I was going to leave it on the playground. But you want to ambush me and bring this up out of nowhere, out of left freaking field, after you just had this whole emotional meltdown about a guy asking you choked or spanked. Like what is happening? Like, it was all just happening so fast.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell is going on right now? So yeah, I went off and they edited the crap out of that scene. Again, did not make Cole cry. And part of the conversation, I remember on that episode, I was saying, if you weren't trying to holler at other men, and they edited it out. And so what I want to clarify with that was, at that brunch, when we were all met everybody, you have to understand just how negative, like, some of these ladies were talking and speaking ill of these guys, to the point where it's just like, I'm about to just start defending all the men, because, like, what have they done to you that is so bad that...
And she definitely did. She made up in her mind that she was about to start defending all the men. And that's exactly what she did. So much so that she will put herself in the way of the fire so that they won't get burned. Suspicious always hunt the guilty minded. Thank you for the super chat, Kiki. Do you love me? Are you fine? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So she made up her mind right then and there that she was about to go start caping for these men. So much so that she's willing to throw herself in the fire so that they don't get burned. And y'all said she's not giving pick me energy? Oh, okay.
You are just like letting these guys have it in these lounges on national television. You know what I mean? Like, you're painting these guys out to be XYZ, and that is not the case. And the viewers are gonna eat this shit up, and it's not okay. It's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, let's not destroy someone's reputation and credibility because you don't find them cute enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's your MO, to do like hateful things to people. So yeah, we had it out, but what I was saying was, like, at that brunch, Mika and Co were exchanging numbers with guys that weren't even on the show, that were just at the restaurant, happened to be at the restaurant. So when I said that you guys are basically, they didn't need my screenshot to make an assessment of you. You're doing that all by yourself. When you go and you exchange numbers with other men who aren't even on the show in front of men that you're supposed to be dating, that speaks volumes of how seriously you're taking this process. That speaks volumes on what you think about these men. And so,
wait, they got numbers from...
What that got to do with you, Alexis? Alexis, I want you guys to keep the same mindset that she's supposed to be telling us. She's supposed to be clarifying the first story. Remember, we watched the first story and we was like, what's going on here? We need clarity, right? So then Kojo said, run it back, Alexis. We need it to make sense. And now we adding in more stuff. We're just adding in things as we go. Because what? Okay. Once again, inserting yourself. Right. You mad at the girls because they were getting numbers from other men. So you were like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep caping for these men here. Like, girl, what? Girl, what?
other people.
Allegedly, from what I heard from multiple guys, is oh yeah, we saw them exchange numbers with these two guys, Mika and Co.
Time out. Not the allegedly. Did she pull out the allegedly? She said allegedly, from what I heard from the guys, that I thought she said that she saw them getting the numbers. Did she? Do I gotta run that back for clarity for myself? Because didn't she say the first time that she saw them giving out the numbers? Now she's saying allegedly she heard from the men that they was giving out the numbers. Allegedly, you don't have to say allegedly if you heard it. If that's what you heard, baby, that's what you heard. Run it back. All right, let me run it back.
Oh, they reputation and credibility because you don't find them cute enough. You know what I mean? So that's your MO, to do like hateful things to people. So yeah, we had it out, but what I was saying was, like, at that brunch, Mika and Co were exchanging numbers with guys that weren't even on the show, that were just at the restaurant, happened to be at the restaurant. So when I said that you guys are basically, they didn't need my screenshot to make an assessment of you. You're doing that all by yourself. When you go and you exchange numbers with other men who aren't even on the show in front of men that you're supposed to be dating, that speaks volumes of how seriously you're taking this process. That speaks volumes on what you think about these men. And so,
Wait, they got numbers from other people.
Allegedly, from what I heard from multiple guys, is oh yeah, we saw them exchange numbers with these two guys, Mika and Co. They were chatting up with some guys that were there at the restaurant, exchange numbers. This is in the middle of while we all filming and doing stuff and doing all types of stuff. And you did this in front of them. So my text message defending myself, where I'm showing that I'm not the one being negative here, is not the problem. You are your own problem. Let's be clear. These men were making.
I've worked at some of the largest retailers on the planet. You think they all have it figured out?
Long before my.
All right, y'all, I got a question. I'm still confused as to what's the problem. Okay, they went out to eat. Somebody went back and said there's a recording. Okay, whatever. It was alleged. It was said that, you know, she said she was getting background checks. She was going to do background checks and she wanted to be a gold digger, whatever. Somebody called her, said, you said this about me. She said, I ain't say that about you. Then the other men said, no, it's not that serious. It's okay, girl. But while we at it, we saw Koshia and what's the name, getting phone numbers from the other dudes at the mixer. So yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out where your problem comes in. What's the beef between y'all? Is it because they went back and told what you were saying? I'm just trying to figure it out, because according to Alexis, it's everybody doing everything to her and she played no part in it. She played no part in nothing. Everything was done to her, around her, about her, featuring her, but she wasn't really there.
My text message came into play. And let's be clear, I didn't send what I could have sent, what was really being said. I sent what defended myself straight from the horse's mouth, saying I'm not the one being negative. So yeah, that was that on that argument. They edited a lot of that out, a ton of that out. And the way they spliced that whole, made it seem like I made Cole cry. I was like, oh, y'all really on one. Like, this is wild. This is crazy that y'all really put that together like that. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of things going on. Okay. Okay, so that's obviously part of the beef that you guys had originally then. Obviously, you know, Mika and Koshia had their own agendas and stuff. Did you get on well with other ladies as well? Or is it just those two that you didn't get on with?
I did not get along well with the other ladies. I think at one point Patrice kind of wanted
And this is what I mean. There has to be some type of self-awareness. If none of the girls are fooling with you, if you didn't get along with none of the girls, usually we have sides, right? It's a group of girls here, a group of girls here, or, you know, these two and then everybody else. There's usually a mixture of the girls and their girls, right? Especially when you group us together. When you group us together, it's usually this group, someone who plays both sides, you know, someone, then you have maybe two people who besties. It's always some type of dynamic with females, okay? We all could be a group, but it's a whole different broke down. It's like 5 different ways inside that one group. You mean to tell me out of all the girls, you were the only one that nobody messed with? Come on. It's giving you're not a girl's girl to some extent, because there's no way, not one. Even the mean girls click up. Even the nice girls click up. We watch every season and Aries wasn't even, she was more neutral than anything. You either pick a side or you're in between. You don't just have one person completely on the outside for no reason whatsoever. That's never the case with women. So if all the women was like, yeah, no, not you, then there's something with you, girl. I'm just saying, because I'm a girl. I know. But let's hear the friendship dynamic.
To have a problem with me because her friends did. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was very short-lived. That wasn't even on my radar. I would say Vanessa was really cool. Vanessa was always neutral. She never kind of chose sides, or it felt like that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't, to be really honest with you, I don't know these people like that. So I don't really trust a whole lot of people, but I will say that honestly, Vanessa and Laylin were the only two girls that were, or only two ladies that I think I could see myself being associated with them as more, you know, more so as like, it's just the energy and the cattiness.
She spoke about Laylin. Laylin been gone for like the whole season. So of course you can see yourself paired off with Laylin. We don't even know who Laylin is, and from we only can see from what we saw. And Vanessa was doing her process the way Vanessa was supposed to do her process. So of course she wasn't caught up in all the mess, because Vanessa was trying to figure out what was going on with Chaz and why he was playing in her face. Okay. She didn't have time for what y'all had going on. So of course you're gonna associate yourself with the people who not even paying you no attention, girl. And then even then she can't even say it. She says she has youngest child energy. I guess so. I don't. Vanessa, but yeah, Vanessa got kids. Vanessa had enough going on with Mr. Cray Cray. That's what I'm saying. You associated yourself, that you could see yourself associated with, not even being cool with. Like the way she even associates herself with women is already showing you that she's not a girl's girl, and that's okay. But don't make it seem. But you don't have to be a girl's girl to understand what women go through, especially dealing with men. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like you taking off your cape to go cape for these men. Of course, the women are going to look at you crazy, because these men are treating us like SHIT over here, and you on the other side look. First of all, it's how many girls was it? Like 9 or 10? Well, Chad said 11, so maybe 11. And you mean to tell me that out of all the ones you can see yourself associated with, it's just 2 people? And one of them went home 2 days later?
And the eye rolling and the extra just bad energy like towards you is just unnecessary. So, but you know, I think Vanessa overall, you know, was probably the most neutral lady of the group. Yeah.
Is that the only person you had a real kind of cool vibe with, or?
Well, Laylin wasn't there for very long, but we did when she was there, And
then you say pick a side, girl. It's only you over here, neutral. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I just had to say it because it's really no side, girl. It's just you. I hate to say it like that because it's effed up. But you mean to tell me you couldn't pull you one other person on your side of the team? Like, come on, girl. You couldn't get you another girl to be on your side? Not one girl you could pull on your side. And I can understand, some women you just can't be friends with. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I got it. But you mean to tell me not one person you could get on your side? Okay.
and as nice as a woman as Laylan is, even they found something to just not like about her, which was insane. Like, she wasn't even there that long. Like, how are you possibly finding something negative about somebody who hasn't said more than 2 words to you? You know what I mean? So it just, again, it speaks volumes to how incompatible and how, for the most part, these aren't the type of women that I would just really hang with outside of this situation. Not saying they're bad chicks, like, some of them are cool chicks. But I just feel like they very much so chose sides. Yeah.
I hear that. So obviously, and I think you really kind of cleared it, but I just want to make it very clear so we know.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna fast forward to my next timestamp because we're not about to be here all night. We ain't got all night now. I know y'all like hanging out with me or whatever, but
recordings just got better.
All right, so this is the part where we start talking about LaRon.
Sorry, shoulda, woulda, couldas. And for me, it's like, it's too late to apologize. Like, you chose your side. You did what you did for whatever reasons you did it. And you didn't care about me. You shit on me, and you didn't care about the truth. You didn't care to get the truth of the situation. Right? Instead, what you did was you allowed these ladies to manipulate you and gas you up, and you felt like a fool. None of them even talked to you. Like, they were all turning on each other.
I think people might feel some way about that, but I get what you're saying. But I think some people might feel some way about that.
I mean, they feel some type of way because it's Wednesday, Kajo. So who cares?
Yeah, listen, hey, I'm hearing you. Okay, so shifting it on then. Shifting it on then. From that particular point, the situation obviously then shifts to. Actually, wait. Before that, did you ever have any run-ins with LaRon before this situation?
No, I never had a run-in ever with LaRon. And so that's what's so interesting is, like, I don't know why this man hated me so. It's because, like, I had one conversation with him at the first brunch. LaRon wasn't for me. And if I had said something at least even just remotely sideways about LaRon, don't you think they would have shown it to further the narrative that LaRon and I had tension? LaRon and I had no tension whatsoever. So yeah, prior to I don't even know prior to what. Me and LaRon never had a run-in. Which was, again, so mind-boggling to me why I'm why he's gunning for me the most. At what point did we have beef?
So, if you guys never had no beef, what happened when obviously he was going to eliminate you?
I'll say I never had beef.
Okay, he was going to eliminate you. I know that he said obviously there was more energy behind that thing, but he asked him to retake. So what happened? How did you guys get to a point where at the point where he's going to eliminate you, there's such heat between the both of you?
Again, just as confused as me.
I don't want.
I walked into this day. I don't have a problem with you. It's just, sending me all these sorry, shoulda, woulda, couldas. And for me, it's like, it's too late to apologize. Like, you chose your side. You did what you did for whatever reason.
Okay, So I need you guys to put on your ears, okay? Put on your ears. Turn them all the way up, okay? Turn them up. I need you guys to listen to understand, okay? Because Alexis is in an alternate reality. Y'all, when I tell y'all I listened to this and said, yeah, she was on one, okay? Alexis was on one. Now, some may say, I get it, I totally get it. But when you listen to how she explains it, it doesn't add up. It just does. She literally is in her own mind. But we're going to listen to it, y'all.
Reasons you did it, and you didn't care about me. You shit on me, and you didn't care about the truth. You didn't care to get the truth of the situation, right? But instead, what you did was you allowed these ladies to manipulate you and gas you up, and you felt like a fool. None of them even talked to you. Like, they were all turning on each other. Like, so it's just crazy to see. Like, all of this was really for nothing. It was really truly for nothing. You just made my time on this show more difficult than it needed to be. Period. That's all. You just made it difficult for me to enjoy myself and truly enjoy this experience. You know, so I haven't eaten since 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, sending me all these sorry, shoulda, woulda, couldas. And for me, it's like, it's too late to apologize. Like, you chose your side. You did what you did for whatever reason.
Okay, that's what I want to start with. So remember, what she was saying was that after filming, after everything went down, okay, LaRon reached out to her and was sending her messages. And LaRon, she said after filming, I don't even know if we heard that part. Okay, let me just say it anyway. After filming, LaRon was sending her messages that everything, and they kind of like cleared the air on. Now I'm gonna let it play because I think it's about to come up. I'm gonna let it play.
You did it, and you didn't care about me. You shit on me, and you didn't care about the truth. You didn't care to get the truth of the situation, right? But instead, what you did was first time too.
Get matched with a local tax expert.
Oh my gosh, she just talks so much. I'm trying to figure out why my time seems not working.
We don't know any of this information that is going to be shown or that is on wax, you know? So we're sitting here and you watching it, and you like, damn, like, you had a whole lot to say about me. And it's funny how there's no footage of me bad mouthing you or anybody else, because if it was, again, to push the narrative that I'm messy and I'm this and I'm that, they would have shown it. Don't you think it would have furthered their narrative? They didn't show it because there is no footage of it, because it didn't happen, because I wasn't doing those types of things. So when you're sitting there and you've apologized to me profusely, and I've let it go, I've buried it. I've been here for 12 freaking hours.
Okay, let's start there. She said he apologized profusely. She let it go. Everything's good, right? So remember when LaRon was like, wait, what's going on? You was just sitting here whispering in my ear and playing with the skirt and stuff like that. Now I put that into context. What he was saying was, we was just chilling. We was just cool. Like, we thought everything was behind us. Remember, I apologized for everything that we went through. Everything was cool. You got over it. We got over it. Everything was cool, right? That's why he was like, whoa, what just happened? I apologize for everything that went down, all the stuff that you said that you moved past it. Okay, maybe you are reliving the moment. Maybe you are reliving the moment, but he called you and apologized because he knew he said some things. And this is LaRon jumping ahead of the enemy. He tried to get in front of the enemy, okay? LaRon knew that she was going to see him say all these things, this, that, and the other. So he was like, let me go ahead and call this girl up and apologize. And in his mind, he's just apologizing for everything, okay? All the things are the things, okay? We're supposed to be in a good place now. We at the reunion. I apologize. You accepted it. We moving on. You playing. We playing. Look, we kikiing and everything behind stage, having a good old time. Everything's fine, right? Now that's why. Remember, I was like, "There's no way LaRon would be saying that she was in there whispering his ear and throwing a dress, like he need to read the room." And then I put it together, and I'm like, "This is why he was saying what he said, because according to her, they were in a good place, correct?" According to her, they were in a good place. They had moved on from everything.
I haven't eaten since 9 a.m. I've been drinking for the last 5 or 6 hours. I'm tired. I'm watching you say all of this nonsense and just crazy, disgusting things about me in particular. And then even when I haven't said anything to you at all this whole reunion, when a snake question gets asked, and you've been the main one who's been Alexis is the snake, and you're the biggest snake here.
Alexis was tired, y'all, because she interpreted this all wrong. Alexis, I get it, girl. I get it. I totally get it. Alexis hadn't ate. She was drunk. She was tired. Okay. She done got wound up because she's seeing LaRon say things about her on the screen and they supposed to be in a good place. I get it. I get it. But we have to go by the game. If we go back and watch the show, if we watch the episode, LaRon was calling out everybody's names, okay? The question, who said something? Oh, I could bet my life Chad said that, right? It was like, LaRon was like, Chad said, I bet my life that. When they was like, oh, I bet you, he was like, I think he said somebody else had said something about Willie and it come out to be April. He was throwing out names. Now, this is where I think we're not comprehending what was going on. She was already riled up because you can tell even now that she still believes that he called her a snake. He did not call her a snake. The question was, who called LaRon a snake? And he said, Alexis. Oh, it wasn't you? Oh, then maybe it was such a Dom. Dom said it. That's exactly how it went. He said, Alexis. And then Alexis was like, what? And he was like, oh, wait, Dom. That's what we saw. The question, he never came out his mouth during that time and said that she was a snake. She heard snake and snapped because homegirl was sleep deprived, she was hungry, and she was drunk. And all she heard was snake, and she snapped. And this is what I mean by you can't stand on business in your dark energy because you can't even dissect what's happening around you. So when you put it in perspective, you blew this whole effing reunion up for nothing because the question was, who called LaRon a snake? And you turned around and said, and you called me, you're the biggest snake here. Well, I'm pretty sure it probably was you who called LaRon a snake then. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure it probably was. I guess LaRon probably guessed right. It probably was Alexis. I just said it probably was Alexis, y'all. I'm assuming that Alexis was the one who called LaRon a snake. Okay. But what I'm saying is she was already in her brain about it. The questions were everyone was throwing out people. If William sat there and took the fact that because April said that man looked like Jeffrey the Giraffe mixed with a Forrest, was it Forrest Gump? Child, whoever, mixed together, goofy, okay? If Will can sit there and just take it on the chin, baby, that man, even if you thought he called you a snake, was all of that worth it? Yeah, I think it was William. Right. Okay, William. Okay, William probably did say it. But what I'm saying is, Alexis, you did not listen to the question. And this is why we are here now. And this is what we mean by, and poor Kojo, because Kojo was so caught up in everything because she was going a mile a minute. She was hot that even Kojo was like, he called you a snake? And she was like, yeah. And no, he didn't call you a snake. The question was, who said LaRon was a snake? LaRon assumed that you probably called him a snake based on the past that y'all had. So I'm just going to say it. You jumped too fast. You got wound up to you, and this is what I mean by Alexis came in on 100. She did not get at 100 when she sat there with LaRon. She was on 100 when she was sitting there with Koshia, when she was sitting there with Mika. She was already on go. She was waiting for her time. This was her time. And you have to be careful about people who's comfortable in working in their dark energy. Because, baby, when you're in your dark energy, you're waiting for your moment. You're waiting for your moment. Because I'm about to turn this whole mother effing thing out. I'm about to clear it. And that's what she did. That was in her mind. She premeditated that she was going to come clear it out. Which is why she's not sorry for nothing she did. This is why she's not apologizing for anything she did. I'm apologize to my mama. Yeah, of course I'm apologize to my mama because I don't want her to see me acting like that on TV. But my mama know I gets down like that. And that's another thing. If you know you haven't eaten all day, I am grown. I am 35. I'm about to be 35 in September. I know that I can't drink on an empty stomach. So why would you drink consistently on an empty stomach, knowing that you're not even a drinker? And I'm a drinker, and I can't even drink on an empty stomach. Yeah, LaRon said Dom too. And that's my thing. This is what I mean by you have to, and I think this what Kojo was really trying to get her to see. Like, this didn't just happen, baby girl. You didn't just snap. You didn't just get there. You came in on 100. You set the scene. You set the stage. You was ready to pop off from the very beginning. And we've seen this before. We've seen people come to the reunion ready. We've seen them on go. We've seen them ready to turn everything up, down, sideways, and around. So we're not going to give you a pass and think, oh, Alexis probably could never want to come in here and turn this thing upside down. That's what I got from it. So you're sitting there, you're getting hot, you're going off. You're going off on Kojo. Well, not really going off, but you're so intense. You're so intense about this emotion that you had at the reunion that you still don't even understand how this played out. Like, you watched it again, I'm assuming, and you still don't understand where the disconnect is of how you flipped on LaRon for no reason, which is why LaRon was like, what? Whoa, I thought we was cool. We was just sitting here having a good old time. Now you're sitting over here wailing on me? Because he genuinely was confused. And I am no way whatsoever taking up for LaRon and all the thing. But I'm saying in this situation, the man was confused. And he had every right to be. Because she snapped on that man for absolutely nothing. Now, if you wanted to snap on him for all the things that you saw in them previous clips, do that then. But don't sit there and say you didn't say, don't sit there and turn around and say you're the biggest snake of them all and then act like y'all didn't make amends and then do all this other stuff. Like, don't do that then. And them not feeding them people is crazy. How you got a whole group of people in this place and y'all not feeding them? That's crazy. Alcohol on deck but no food, that's crazy. Y'all need to start setting. This is why this is why Janelle last season was saying she was going off on production because they're not putting them in the right situations. And because it was Giselle going off, everybody could not understand. They was just blinded. Oh, Giselle's a mean girl. Giselle's a mean. No, Janelle said, feed me, give us the right accommodations, treat us like actual human beings. And if not, then F y'all. But people got caught up on the way she said it that y'all missed the whole point. She called it out. They could have got them some pizza. Let me tell you something. If I know I want to drink like I want to drink, I'm going to get my own damn pizza. Y'all want to put in for a pizza? Man, I got it. Let me get the Domino's $6.99 for $6.99 a pie. We get 3, 4, 5. We'll be all right. Come on. You're grown. One person pop off every season, right? What kind of labor laws are they breaking down? They wilding with not feeding these people. Shoot, Oprah don't feed the people. But this is what I'm saying. This is what Janelle was trying to hint. Well, this is what she was saying last season. Aries, was that your season, Aries? Or was that another season? No, that was your season. Wasn't that? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that what she one of her complaints was how you guys the way your environment, the environment that they had y'all in, right? Exactly. But people were so fixated on her just being in her feelings or the way she said it or whatever that a lot of people missed the point. It was like 15 of us. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So Alexis was already on one. Alexis can't act like she wasn't. Her intentions from the very beginning was to come out there and put everybody in their effing place, okay? And it was very obvious that that's what she wanted to do. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it just happened this way because I was hungry. It just happened this way because I was drinking. It just happened this way because, yeah, no, they may have contributed to it exploding the way it did, or you really not giving an F towards how you had your little blackout towards the end. But you definitely was already coming in there on 100. Everything else amplified it.
You still gonna keep poking at me? You still gonna keep poking at me? Now I'm finna bite your head off because you playing with me. Now you about to see my dark side because I'm fed up. I'm fed up at this point. I have been disrespected this entire process. I have been lied on. I have been toyed with, and I am fed up. Enough is enough. I'm done. You're not gonna keep berating me, and I'm gonna just keep. Oh, I'm gonna be nice about it. I'm not gonna say anything. Absolutely not. I'm finna bite your head off at this point. I was tired.
So are you saying that your frustration for Lauren came because you guys have obviously there's one or two incidents, but you watched the clips and that's what kind of
You're
nailed it
watching
in the
these,
head for you?
right? You're watching these clips, and then you're seeing all the things that they didn't even. They showed us clips that they didn't even show on the show, right? They showed us like all the clips like of things that they didn't even show on the show. So you're seeing all this, and it's like, damn, this is what you really think of me? Oh, because of what? And then you want me to sit here and hear you call me a snake yet again and not say anything to you? Like,
Wait, he
no.
called you a snake?
Yeah, that was the question
First?
in the game. Yes.
Okay.
That was the question in the game. The question in the game was something about a snake or something. And LaRon was like, oh, if it's something about a snake, I'm sure it's Alexis. And at this point, I'm like, well,
You see what I mean? She heard what she wanted to hear. It's that simple. She heard what she wanted to hear. You said, hey, Tawanda, you said I'm up late. You know I gotta go live late because of my baby. All right, I'm gonna get to the part where she talk about Koshia and John Koshia. Did we talk about that already?
well, damn, do I need to put 3 egg rolls and 5 crab cakes for 20 people is not doing anything? If my delivery and how I said what I said, I would have, if I could change it, I would. But what I said, I wholeheartedly believe that I will beat me for the fuck up. I do think LaRon is a dork. At no point is anybody ever really gonna do nothing for real, like how they want you to think. They not really about that type of lifestyle. Yeah, I apologize. I will apologize to my mom and my dad. Escalated. And so I didn't really, it was the comments that were like, Justin was trying to fight Lex. I'm like, just shown the truth about the situations, that would have been entertainment enough.
Can somebody,
But no, they,
I don't know how I missed this. I'm trying to find the part where we talk about what you talked about Koshia and Jonathan. Did we pass that already?
Yeah, everybody got to get they rate completely wrong, totally. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't go around putting my hands on people. That's not how I work in my life.
Hold
Several
on.
people standing
Hold on.
around me.
You see, you're doing it again. You're not listening.
Okay.
You're jumping in.
Was another connection. Why would you record me at dinner that you invited?
Again,
Okay.
please.
So.
Okay, so there's a lot of things going on. Okay. Okay, so that's obviously part of the beef that you guys had originally then. Obviously, you know, Mika and Koshia had their own agendas and stuff. Did you get on well with other ladies as well? Or is it just those two that obviously then, you know, you kind of streaming on from there. Obviously then you found yourself in a situation where Jonathan.
Okay.
Let's keep it 100. Cole is a
okay.
I hear that.
Let's start here.
So obviously, and I think you really kind of cleared it, but I just want to make it very clear so we know before we move on to the next part. Obviously that comment that you made with Co saying, you know, you kind of brought it on yourself. In a sense, you know, the guys know who to try. Tell us about that comment. What was your thought process behind that, and how did the conversation get there?
I said that because I've never like really experienced like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the flesh until like I ran across Cole. And I'll be for real. This woman would literally, her personalities would go from being, oh, I be face down, ass up. I gotta I'm not even gonna go into all the details, but when you're giving off very sexual, flirty, come hither energy around people when the cameras are off, but then as soon as them cameras come on, you're a whole nun out here in these streets, it's very off-putting. So again, when in terms of things like why would he ask me choked or spanked, why would something like that come about, like let's be
Alexis hears what she wants to hear. Okay, let's go back. Koshia said, when he asked me, choked or spanked, I told him I do not want to answer those questions for you. The end. The effing end. There is no, but you were giving off that energy. Okay, maybe she did give off that energy, and maybe he did pick it up and was like, you know what? Let me just see and push the boundary. And once he asked her, and she said, "I do not want to answer that question for you," that was the effing end. So don't sit here and make it seem as if, because once again, caping for these ninjas, okay? Because Alonzo wants to make the illusion that he wasn't being sexual and it wasn't a sexual question, that she deserved for him to keep badgering her and gaslighting her to make her feel as though what he was trying to imply wasn't what he was trying to imply. And that's the issue. You sat there and you cape for these men for absolutely no reason, but because you don't like the women, that you sat there and you literally are saying you're giving off this energy. At the reunion, Koshia said, Chaz knows what I like. LaRon knows what I like. But that does not mean that Alonzo needs to know what she likes. And you think that it's okay as a woman to sit there and say, it's okay for him to do that because in a conversation, I said I like it face down, ass up. So if I say I like it face down, ass up, it's appropriate for a man to come and bend me over just randomly? Absolutely not. When Koshia set her boundaries, that was it. That was all. And if he proceeded to try to make it seem, and he proceeded to go and make it seem like gaslit her, oh, I wasn't talking about that, and she felt away by it, then she has every right to feel away by it. Do not sit here. Do not sit here and try to make it her fault for someone being disrespectful after she set her boundaries. And that's something you're probably not familiar with, Alexis. Boundaries. You're probably not familiar with them. Mm-hmm. That's disgusting. As a woman, that is disgusting. Especially more so of the way you put it. You put it as if, oh, she's giving off this energy. She's giving this, come hither, come hither. So of course it's okay for them to say that. Okay, he probably thought that that was the energy that she was giving off. And once she shut it down and said, I will not answer that. Don't ask me these questions. And that was supposed to be the end of it. But when there's people out here like you, who think that is okay, who go around telling other people that this is okay, this is why men behave the way they do. And because you don't even have the balls to speak up for yourself, I would not expect anything more from you. That is alarming. That's disgusting, actually.
Let's keep it 100. Cole is a very sexual person, okay? And if I was a dude, I probably would have thought she trying to get with me at a few occasions. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just all that crazy for Alonzo to really ask that. And what I meant by that is, if you're not out here putting out this type of energy, then that's not really usually what you're gonna get back. You understand what I'm saying? So when I said men know who to play with, if every man is approaching you and rubbing you the wrong way in a sexual way, let's ask ourselves why. What am I doing to make men think that I want these type of sexual advances? That's all I meant by that. You know?
Do Alexis have kids? Do Alexis have kids? I hope she don't have daughters. Because that's dangerous. That mindset is dangerous. This is what it sounds like when they say, oh, well, you deserve that because of what you had on. You deserve that because you were outside at 3:00 coming from the club. You deserve that because you had on a crop top. You deserve that because I saw you dancing on that man in the corner over there. So now I feel like you should dance with me over here. You deserve that.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what that was. If you keep on acting like you are open to that type of engagement, then they're gonna push the envelope and try you at some point. They're gonna check your temperature. They're gonna just check your temp a little bit and see. I mean, you acting like you want me to flirt with you. You acting like you want me to, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying if something bad happens to a woman that was unwanted, she deserves it because she was acting a certain way. No, that's not what I'm saying. But also, don't do certain things.
We should have stopped right there. There's no but also. There's no but also. It's just, of course, it wouldn't be her fault if something happened to her. Because by this logic, women are supposed to do just about anything. I'm disappointed.
That are very sexual in nature, and then act like I can't say something to you that after you just said something sexual to me. You know, that's what that was. Yeah.
That's fair. I hear that. Obviously, then you kind of streaming on from there. Obviously, then you found yourself in a situation where Jonathan You know,
Mm-hmm.
did a little bit too much,
Mm-hmm.
and the guys had to rescue you. Tell us about that night. What your perspective of, leading up to that situation. What was your perception of that night? Because obviously, it was an unfortunate set of events that happened at that point in time. So,
Mm-hmm.
love to get your perspective.
So you mean like what was my perception like going into the pajama party
Yeah,
of
like before we get to
Jonathan
the point
or
where it
just in
actually happened,
general?
like, what was going on? What was you observing? What was you seeing? What was going on with you?
That night, at the pajama party, I was just chilling. Like I think that was probably one of the least, for a certain part of the night, that was the least stressful, one of the least stressful nights that or filming days that we had because everybody's drinking, everybody is having fun. The energy didn't seem so intense at the first half of that night. So going into it, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a pajama party. I felt like this was a little soon to be, in this type of situation with people that like you got to keep in mind how fast all of this happens. You know what I mean on this show, like how fast all of this happens. It's like lightning speed. So you're like going from oh, so what do you do for a living to oh, let's talk about some of your kinks, some of your sexual kinks, like the next week.
Did you guys hear me about liking the video and subscribing to the channel? Okay, I hope you guys heard me because I heard it was muted. Is it muted? Okay.
So it's like it's a lot. So you don't really know what to expect going into this pajama party. But what I didn't expect is for Jonathan to get full of that oil and pick me up. And
So what if I'm extra uncraveable type, fall in love?
yeah, that was different.
When you say different, obviously some people felt.
I want to know what's funny. She's so uncomfortable. She's laughing because she know that what she about to say is some bullshit. You didn't expect that, right? I thought only if you put out energy, only if you put out sexual energy, a man's gonna try you. I thought that only if you put out that energy, a man would try you. So why did he try you, Alexis? This is weird.
Felt uncomfortable watching you go through that situation because they felt like he was doing a way too much. From your perspective, I know obviously he's apologized, he said on the show, but what describe to us what was happening, because obviously he's pulled you onto his lap. It looks like he's it starts off well, but he pulled you onto his knee at first. I think you wanted to go on his knee, I think, and then he kind of pulled you in
Right.
more than that. So yeah, tell us your thoughts on that.
So the night of the pajama party, with the conversation you saw us having kind of near the pool, that was the first time. Shoot, that was the first time that that Jonathan had like verbatim told me like I'm interested, I like you, right? So this was like news to me because I'm like, you like me? Like since when? I've seen you. We've been on dates. I've seen you a couple of times. Like since we started this thing. Like how you like me? Anyway, that just messing with him. But we got to talking, and that was the first night I realized it. So when we were playing the game, I think LaRon or somebody, I guess the question on the game was like, whisper sweet nothings in your connection's ear or something. And so he kind of gave me that look, and I'm like, oh shit, he's like gonna do me, you know what I'm saying? So so he like kind of like reaches out for my hand for me to like come towards him. So I was gonna like, he was sitting on this like armoire chase type of, you know, deal. And so I was gonna sit on his lap sideways, like on one leg, and kind of just have a flirty moment that way, right?
So you sat on his lap. According to your knowledge, that's supposed to happen. According to your knowledge, the way you put it, it seems like if I put myself here, it's okay if you go there. It's crazy. So by her knowledge, at this point, the way she puts it, if you give a man an inch, then he can take a mile. He's gonna see what he can get. You put yourself in that situation. You sat on his lap, so now he has the right to straddle you, or have you straddle him because you went and sat on his knee. Now he has the right to put his hands wherever he want to put them. Absolutely not. And this is and the fact that she continues to try to downplay it is alarming.
Right? He literally turns me and is like now pulling my body to like straddle him. So the part that they're not showing you is me going, no, like I'm literally like stiffening my body up and like literally both hands to chest, like, no, like what are we doing? And so at this point, he just is obviously stronger than me, goes ahead and picks me up and sits me down. Then he kind of whispers like, you know, just go with it. And so we're in this situation. How I want to react is
y'all, I feel like I think I'm about, oh my God, I almost cried. Did she say he whispered, just go with it? I did not hear that before. That's insane. That's insane. And you're defending him. Just go with it. When you're pushing him, saying no, 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 no.
to probably slap this man. You know what I mean? That's my natural reaction is, no, what are you doing? I'm about to slap him. You know what I mean? But this is a totally off-putting type situation, right? Where you're in a room full of people. If I react badly or overreact in this situation, you know, or slap him or anything like that, this is going to ruin the whole night, the whole energy, the whole mood, the game, everything shut down, go home, right? If I take it there, because it looked really bad. You know what I mean? Like, this is obviously unwanted, or I thought it was obvious that I didn't want to be in this situation. at this point, you know. But again, Jonathan had that look in his eye. He had a little bit too much drink, and so he just wasn't picking up on social cues, I think, in that moment. And so yeah, it's just one of those decisions, like, do I react how I want to react and ruin it for everybody, or do I let this go by, bite the bullet, and then address this when he's sober and when, he can fully understand like how uncomfortable I was in that situation.
Alexis, I hope that you are never in a position where you cannot advocate for yourself. I really pray that you are never put in a position where you have to choose whether or not to speak up for yourself or to cause a scene. You see her energy, you see her face. I really pray that Alexis is never, ever put in a situation where she really feels as though she has to choose the environment over herself. Because this is insane. And the commentary that I wanted to give, I can't even give because this not in my league. Like this not in my league. This not in my league. And I'm triggered. And I'm trying because I didn't know he said that. And then when you see her express it and she talks about how she can tell she didn't want to be in that situation, and she had to make the choice of whether or not I say something and shut this whole thing down and everyone goes home and there's no more fun, or do I just wait till he's sober up and have the conversation later? That's scary. And once again, you put on a cape to defend a man who's done this to you because you don't want to tear down a black person. You don't want to tear down a man. You don't want to tear down a black man. I don't want to put that. He got family. He got this, that, and other. In the same breath, tell Koshia that she shouldn't. You give off that energy. Like, I am so confused. Basically, right. Basically, you were silenced. Exactly. And even if you did go have that conversation with him once he's sobered up, I don't like that. Y'all, I think we're gonna have to end it for the night because I am disgusted. I thought I was disgusted before, but certain lines, when people say certain things, because if she's saying no, pushing you, and then she said, but he had that look in his eye. He had that look in his eye. And of course, he's bigger than me. He's stronger than me. If you listen to what she said and how she said it, she felt like a victim. Am I right? Or like, am I tripping? Am I reaching? Am I doing too much? Like, the way she described this incident is crazy. It's one thing if he would have did that and she would have been like, oh, it's just fun, haha, go with it, like, it's cool, I wanted to, like, it's all right, okay. But the way she described the way all of this happened, but did people peep when she said that production did not protect her? She felt violated because they did not tell her she would be the one to send Jonathan home. Meaning she felt nervous about everything that had happened and she didn't want to have to be in his presence again. I don't know, because she was sitting there crying. Maybe she was traumatized.
Yeah. And it was uncomfortable to watch. The guys obviously pulled him off eventually. Pulled you off, sorry, eventually. As well. Obviously, it has to be fair. People would say, well, do you feel like, you gave him some energy that led to that situation, right? For instance, maybe when you guys were
No,
talking about sucking toes, and
no,
someone might say,
no.
they might say that because obviously you made a comment about Koshia. I don't know if you want to address that point.
No, because at no point did I ever give sexual energy to Jonathan. And you can ask Jonathan if
By your logic, Alexa, you did. You sat on his lap. However far he decided to take it after that, it's completely on him. But according to your logic, you can't say you didn't give him any type of sexual energy. You sat on his lap.
I ever came off as wanting him to pursue me in a way that would make anybody uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I just think he had a bad moment that night, and people are allowed to have bad moments. And I quickly realized that they are going to use this as his exit door. And they were just asking me way too often on camera about this situation, and I felt like they really wanted me to cook this man. And so part of the reason why I was so adamant about, like, Jonathan had a bad moment. Jonathan apologized to me. Jonathan called me and he made it right. And he expressed how sorry he was. He told me that, it's not an excuse, but I was a little intoxicated and I put you in an uncomfortable position, and I truly never meant to make you feel that way. And so I was so open about his apology, and I just wanted to shut it down, because what I didn't want to happen was what I thought I was seeing going to happen, was they're going to nail this man to the cross behind this. And that's really would be completely unfair, being how nice Jonathan is and how much of a gentleman he has been outside of this one incident where
I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I ain't gonna say what I want to say because I ain't gonna say what I want to say. It's too heavy. And the things that I want to say, definitely not gonna get my video monetized. It's probably not gonna be monetized anyway. So you guys are more than welcome to send some super chats or whatever. But I think I'm gonna leave this right here. Alexis is a pygmy. The end. She's not a girl's girl. She threw on her cape for these men. She threw herself in the fire for these men. And they all basically treated her like ish. And even after this process, I'm sure they all still treating her like ish. And I could understand you not wanting to like press the issue. But at that point, you should have spoke up for yourself, because there's no way by any means that was appropriate for him to say or do. By no means whatsoever. And production should have sent him home immediately. The same way, I hate to keep bringing it up, but when what's her name said what he said about Janelle and her titties or whatever the case may be, and blah, 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 they let these men get away with doing and saying and acting, doing way too much. I don't need you to sit there and keep asking me about how I felt about the situation. The situation needs to be handled based on what you guys saw. Y'all know I said no. Y'all know everything was inappropriate. Y'all know what was going on. Don't ask me no fucking questions. Get him out of here. And this is why she doesn't understand that when Koshia says, when I told him I don't want to answer his questions, I don't have to answer his questions. The boundaries are out of place. These men constantly over and over again just keep getting away with the most. And it's so sad. Because there's no way Jonathan should not have been, not even eliminated. He should have been literally told, you have to leave. Escorted out. You could be a good man, all you want. And you need to have consequences for your actions. And as long as people keep letting people get away with these actions, they're never going to learn their consequences. And they're going to keep doing it over and over again because there's always someone who just wants it to go away. I don't know, but I can't advocate for people who don't advocate for themselves. So when I think about Alexis blowing up at the end and how she went off on everybody and how she went off on production, she really felt like everybody could get it because, like she said, she felt like she's been disrespected, she's been played with, she's been toyed with, and by every means, she probably has been. That anger she had, is deep. It's not as surface as we want to think it is. Now that I saw that, this isn't as surface as we want to think it is. But I hope she gets some help because that's a dangerous mindset to have. And I feel now. I feel I'm sorry, y'all. That kind of just like tore me down. But I love you guys. It's almost, what time is it? Oh, it's 12 o'clock. We've been up here for 2 hours. That's crazy. And I think I heard my baby, so I need to go. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for the reunion part 2 and Married at First Sight. The reunion, baby, is going down over there on Married at First Sight. So we'll be back for that. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. Peace.